The long holiday weekend is here, and coming up, this means new movies are in theaters much earlier this week, including the new Spider-Man film that opened today. Richard Roeper is here to let us know if we should spend or save on this week's new batch of films. Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
I love this time of year. I love long weekends to go to the movies with the family. After you've had like a big meal, then you go to the movies and go home and play games. So let's get to it. All right, let's start with Spider-Man Far From Home, which promises to be the summer's next big blockbuster. Tom Holland returns as the web superhero with some added star power. Jake Gyllenhaal and Samuel L. Jackson joining the cast. Take a look.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
Oh my God.
I just always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You going to step up or not?
Okay, now you really like the first film in this franchise. Do you like this one too?
I do. I like this one a lot.
Okay.
Big spend on this one, Val. You know, it's kind of amazing. Just this century, since the year 2001, we've had 3 Spider-Men. We had Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. We had Andrew Garfield. But now we have Tom Holland, who I think is the best of the group, in part because he looks like a high school kid. He's in his early 20s, but we believe him. One of the things I love about this movie, Val, is yes, it's a Spider-Man adventure, but it's also a really sweet high school movie set amidst the superhero stuff. And Zendaya, who's in this with Tom Holland, plays MJ, I think is just a huge star in the making. She's such a natural on-screen presence. Tom Holland is great. Sam Jackson, as you mentioned. And then Jake Gyllenhaal added to the cast, and he plays kind of a father figure mentor to the Tom Holland Spider-Man character.
Oh, I love the Spider-Man series, period. Now, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do I need to see Avengers Endgame? There's some sort of like buzz going around on the internet about like, you need to see this in order to see this Spider-Man movie.
Well, yes. First of all, yes. First of all, you should have seen it by now anyway, but you're busy. We know this. But this takes place in the months right after all the events of Avengers Endgame. And I know some people are upset because they say, well, this movie tells us what happened. Well, guess what? By the time we got to Rocky 4, we know what happened in Rocky 3 and Rocky 2. You got to keep up with these franchises. So it really does help a lot because, yes, there were some very serious developments in Avengers Endgame. And these characters are dealing with the aftermath of that. And we're living in the world that exists right after Endgame.
Okay, all right. Touche, got it.
You got homework.
Yeah, I got homework. I'm going to do my homework, too. I got some days off. All right, next up, the horror film Midsummer follows a group of friends who travel to Sweden for a festival that only occurs once every 90 years. But then things start to get creepy.
It's like another world.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Is it scary?
What is it?
It has special properties. What am I going through?
We just need to acclimate.
I don't want to acclimate, I want to go.
Absolutely not.
What's happening?
Ooh, creepy. Are we spending or saving?
This is spend, even though you see it's almost all in daylight. It's a real waking nightmare of a movie. Here's a little travel tip for folks. If you're going to go on a cultural exchange somewhere and everybody in the remote town dresses in the same white stuff and keeps saying, drink this, it'll make you feel better, run for your lives. Get that Zagat review out there. Go on Yelp and tell your friends. So this is actually very creepy, very weird. It's also kind of an extended metaphor about a relationship breaking up. In particular, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that never has the guts to tell the woman that you want out of the relationship, because this guy really gets what's coming.
You mean don't text her to break up?
None of that texting, none of that, you know, keeping her on the line there, no ghosting, none of that stuff. All of that explored within the genre of a horror film.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, cool. We got us 2 spins. Finally, Ophelia is a flip the script take on Shakespeare's Hamlet, told from the point of view of Hamlet's love interest, Ophelia.
These are strange times in this castle. Be afraid. You will only be safe if you are afraid.
Hamlet, we can escape now. Come. You turned my son against me.
I think Ophelia's dangerous.
They want me to marry another.
It starts now!
Okay, we're getting Ophelia's point of view. Does that change anything to the story?
Yeah, it does, Val. I have to say, save on this, even though you saw, Clive Owen there, Naomi Watts, and Daisy Ridley, who's in the most recent Star Wars movie. So really cool cast. But here's the thing about rewriting Shakespeare. You're rewriting Shakespeare.
You can't, right?
You know,
Yeah.
you don't go to the Art Institute with crayons. You don't go to the Bean with spray paint. You know, you leave the masterpieces alone. So even though it's kind of an interesting take, Hamlet works pretty well with, you know, Hamlet being front and center. I do like the idea of showing it from Ophelia's point of view. It's a beautiful looking film. It's one you can watch on video or on an airplane in a couple of months. You'll be fine.
I was going to say, wait
Not
till
bad.
it comes out home.
It's not worth your money
Listen,
right
we've
now.
got 2 great movies to check out in the theater anyway.
Yes,
so
there
that's
you go.
great.